Avi, what would be a 2-minute tip you'd give to an organization, mate, that's looking to try improve and get better for the future? You know, an organization that's looking at the world coming up and going, how are we going to navigate this? What would be a 2-minute tip you'd give them?
That's a good question. I'll give them two. One, get professional help, man. When people say to me, oh, we don't need coaches and stuff. Listen, go take a look at any sports team. Brad, what's your favorite sports team?
The Queensland rugby league team.
Great. Okay. Is there a coach on the team?
Yeah.
Well, how many coaches do they have?
They have about 4 or 5 key coaches on different techniques, but they also bring back ex-players as coaches. They call them FOGs, former Origin greats.
Let's just pretend there's 5 coaches, okay? How many players are on the team?
There's 16 to 18 in total with subs.
So you have 18 people and 5 coaches? That's a coach for every 3 people. It's crazy. Yeah, but that's the real deal of professional sports. So these are people who are paid. They call themselves professionals. They are paid exorbitant amounts of money to play a child's game for a certain portion of the year. And yet they have 5 coaches on that team. Think about that for a second. Now you want to go take a multi-billion-dollar business with tens of thousands of employees, and you want to read a 13-page guide, watch a 20-minute video on YouTube, and you think you know how to do this? Get the hell out of here. Yeah. Do yourselves a favor. Get professional help. And that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, stop thinking you're smarter than Dr. Sutherland. You're not. You can't leave parts out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll hear about this other stuff people call it Scrum, but when I was down in Australia, when I was down there working with one of your major banks, they called it agile. I loved it. Agile is my favorite word for it. You can't leave parts out. You can't say, yeah, but we don't want to do, we don't want to do the retrospective. We don't like talking about how we feel about the work, or, forget about backlog refinement. We'll just talk about it. No, you can't leave parts out. It works like a well-oiled machine. And if you take a gear out, it fails. It's not that it can't run, it'll limp along and you're just doing yourself a disservice. Yeah. Look, Dr. Sutherland is the first person who would tell you, because we come from lean, that you don't do something for the sake of the framework. You do it because it adds value. Don't think you're smarter than them. Don't try to trick it and say, let's figure out what won't work here before we start. You have no idea. You think you know, and I'm telling you, you don't.
Yeah.
Do it orthodox. Do it the true Scrum way. Do it as it's written, as it should be done. Then figure out what piece doesn't work. And before you discard it, ask yourself this simple question. Is the reason why it's not working because we're not putting our best foot forward when we do it, because we're not putting our heart in it? Or is the reason why it doesn't work is because it actually doesn't work for us? And when you can answer that question honestly, and I mean honestly, then you can say, all right, you know what? We can toss that out.